Well, 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 what do we have here? Another unexpected video that pushes my schedule back even more. Awesome. Anyway, several hours ago, Yagsterr created a video telling us on how episode 7 saved the series. Well, sort of. It wasn't that black and white. However, one of the greatest disappointments in the episode was that Tessa wasn't Tessa, but rather Sin. Originally, Tessa wasn't evil, but rather offered different morals that would clash with the existing love story. However, because Tessa wasn't Tessa, but Sin, the scenario was reduced to a good versus evil scenario, which is overplayed in the media today. I do agree with the Yagster's statements, but as we all know, Murder Drones is always messing with us and misleading us. It could be the elusive nature of the show that confirms Tessa's survival rather than her death. Believe it or not, several of my theories were actually correct in episode 7. My base for every one of those theories is what isn't the show directly implying, but can still be true. I want you to notice Sin's new design and what is missing. I assume you saw it. Sin mainly uses Tessa's limbs and skin, but we can see most of her body is missing because of the breaks in the skin showing Sin's body. While I could focus on how Tessa's muscles are replaced with Sin's limbs, we're instead going to focus on the head and chest. The reason for drawing your attention to these areas of Sin is because this is where Tessa's vital organs would have been, and yet they all seem to be missing, directly replaced by Sin's body. For those seeing where I'm going with this, it's about to get darker. The dress, bow placement, high heels, and even the hairstyle matches how Tessa looked the day of the Gala massacre. This is far from a coincidence. It's likely that Sin took more than just her family that day, but her body as well. However, we saw that Sin cared for Tessa and even tried to spare the pain of watching her family die. That being said, Sin still wants to take her place. So, why did Sin take Tessa's body? The answer most likely lies with N. We see throughout the show that N is Sin's favorite. In fact, she's even shown in multiple cases to like him romantically. Now, I'm just gonna stop right here for a second and say, guys, they're not actually siblings. This is a trope from anime. Stop. There's been many tropes from anime in this show. Do not worry about whether or not the robots who call themselves brother and sister are actually romantically involved. They're robots. Just let it go. Let it go. There's literally, you know what? There you go. This is a scene. She literally does the whole hair behind the ear thing, except she does not have an ear. But that is a clear indicator. I'm sorry. It's there. I'm sorry. It's just something they did. I don't know why.
Thanks for clearing the way on this planet too. Let's eat.
Anyway, it seems she chose to take Tessa's body from her not only to convince others that she's a real person, but to be on the end that would receive the most affection from N, or so she thought. But what of Tessa? Well, it's likely that she is alive as an inverse of how Sin looks currently, having robotic parts with human bones and muscles crammed inside. Her whole body most likely resembles that of a mangled worker drone, almost as if Sin and Tessa swapped roles. However, I doubt we'll see Tessa like this right away, but rather go through a similar process where Tessa, while wearing a spacesuit so you don't really know whether or not she is Tessa, tries to instill the same cause in N that Sin did, aka killing Uzi for the good of all. This of course won't work and may lead one thing to another where Sin plays everyone for a fool and gets her way by distilling distrust in Tessa ahead of time, only for the truth to come out after the opportunity has passed. I made a video 7 months ago called Is Tessa Not Human? In this video I made several predictions such as Tessa actually not being Tessa but Sin. However, the main focus of this video was to point out, even in the flashbacks, Tessa wasn't a human, but not a drone either. My theory was that she was a synth created by her father, which could have led to Sin's interest in biotech. Evidence for such a claim could be the difference between her and the other humans, as well as the similarity she shares with the drones despite not being one. Instead of doing this again, I'm just going to show you the evidence I used back then. The first difference I noticed was Tessa's head. While the rest of her body makes sense, Tessa's head closely resembles that of a drone throughout the flashbacks. We see that, one, it's shaped like the drone's head. Two, her eyes are bigger than the normal human eyes. Three, she's actually missing her nose and mouth, where her mother actually has her nose and mouth. We can't see it, it's all just flat, implying she has a drone mouth. And four, she makes similar noises to drones when completing actions, such as blinking.
Everything royal stud! On you go.
So there's already a few features about Tessa that are taken from drones, and the rest of her body is that of human. So drawing the synth conclusion is actually quite likely in this case, assuming that this isn't a reference to Sin becoming Tessa. However, since it was made clear that Sin didn't take Tessa till after the gala, as the events we saw did paint that picture, although those events were altered, so who knows? Although I do believe that it roughly happened the same on Sin's side of the story, because it was broken up between Envy and Sin when we're talking about the flashbacks. So Sin's side of the story, where she's engaging Tessa and the rest of the gala, that was probably accurate to a T. So I think that Tessa could be alive because of Sin's fondness for her, but also because she wasn't entirely human to begin with. And since drones can come back under many circumstances, who knows what is in store for us in the future episodes. Also, if it wasn't clear, Tessa coming back would not happen in this season. It would happen in season 2, which to my knowledge is happening. I'll actually be doing another video on that, as I've added enough to the list of legitimate reasons why we would get a second season that I decided that I have to make another video now because the other one's kind of out of date. Well, Yagster, I hope that this video has instilled some hope that Tessa is alive, but that's assuming that you'll even watch this video, so as usual, feel free to debate me, question me, or whatever you would like to comment in the comments down below. Well, that's going to have to do it for this video. I will see you all next time.